How powerful is Heisei Godzilla? The Heisei iteration of the King of the Monsters. Is he more powerful than Showa? Marvel Godzilla? Any past Godzillas to ever exist? Well, I am here to let you know if he is. So, before I want to start off, I just want to say, sorry I haven't been posting too much. School started back up for me, and I've been getting a lot of homework, so I haven't really had any time to record or make any good scripts, to be honest, but I will be, I am pretty active on Discord, so you guys, should join my Discord server. I'll leave a link in the description. I do want to say before I do start this video, a lot of the stuff I will be saying, a lot of it will be coming from King of the Monsters, a bunch of scans I got. So you guys should definitely go check out his 3 parts to How Powerful is Heisei. He does all of them, including Burning Godzilla. Highly recommend checking out his videos. He's the best scaler I've probably ever seen. I also do want to say, I'm looking for an editor, because if one of you are down to edit my videos, then I can get maybe like 1 or 2 out per week while I'm in school, because I can just record and then, my editor can just edit for me. So if any of you guys are up for that, you can hit me up. I can't really pay, but I can give you a bunch of shout outs and stuff like that. But yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and get into the scaling for Heisei. So I do want to say I'm going to be starting off with the inverse section of Heisei, and then I moved to cross-verse, like him against Mothra Leo and Orochi and all that. So, but yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and get straight into the scaling. So I think everyone has seen the statements that the Return of Godzilla is stated to be stronger than Showa Godzilla by about 200 times the power, since he's 200 times the power of the Red Hotline. So that would already make him 200 times more stronger than Showa, right? But how powerful is Showa exactly? Well, for starters, Showa Godzilla, right, his strongest is Destroy All Monsters Godzilla, because of multipliers, right? He gets around 5,000 times stronger per year, right? At least in the movies. So, Destroy All Monsters being in 1999 in the timeline, he would have over at least 5,000 times 24. He would at least have over 200,000 times the original power he had, right? In Terror of Mecha. So he would scale at his strongest above every past Ghidorah and every Mecha Godzilla. Mecha Godzilla was already above the past Ghidorahs, except the Shore Monster, but that doesn't matter. So, how powerful is Ghidorah exactly? Well, Ghidorah can convert, Ghidorah can eat comets and stars and is able to convert them to energy. It's stated that Ghidorah can convert cosmic rays to energy, which would be around solar system level. This is consistent with the fact that Ghidorah is stated to be stronger than the supernova, which would be a baseline solar system level feat. We also have the fact that Mechagodzilla was built in a black hole, so that's already solar system at a base for the Showa era. You can also upscale all Showa Kaiju to 4-dimensional, as in Zone Fighter, yes, which is canon, to the Showa era, are able to fight a 4-dimensional monster called Dolora. So they're at a base, they're at like their highest universal plus, and you can even argue low multi, which I'll get into in Showa zone scaling, but I will not get into that right now. So the question is, does this really all apply to the Return of Godzilla? No, it does not. And why is that? Well, in order for a statement to be taken viable or serious, the statement needs to be proven, well, not proven, but it needs to be supported by the feats, right? So, it's kind of like Final Wars with his statements being inconsistent. But I won't use Final Wars as an example, as he's going to be an entirely different discussion and topic on a video with somebody else. But, basically, right, if I say that I am stronger than alright, let's say I have universal power, right, in a statement. Do I have anything that backs it up or to prove it, right? Do I have any calcs? Well, 84 lacks the feats in the calcs to prove he's above Showa. All his feats are like multi-continental from what I've seen and seen calcs of. So he does not have anything to help support the fact that, he is stronger than Showa. But is the main version of Heisei stronger than Showa? Well, yeah, he is. So let me go ahead and get into that. For starters, Heisei's first opponent was Heisei Ghidorah. Heisei Ghidorah is stated to be stronger than Showa Ghidorah. And Showa Ghidorah can destroy the gravity of an opponent with his gravity beams, break them apart on a subatomic level. So that already puts, Heisei Ghidorah above Showa Ghidorah, just off of direct statements. But you also have the fact that Heisei, right, he gets an amp from the bomb because he goes stronger from the nuclear bomb, which, if I remember correctly, was like 200 times the power of Showa off the statement, or maybe even a little bit more. But he's, at this point, 200 times stronger. So, then you have that, right? So you have off of those statements, right? There's not too many feats that you can really calc in the 1991 film, so we can kind of dismiss the feats for that part. And then I will get into more consistency later on. Mothra and Basha were able to fight a stronger Godzilla, so they should be around Ghidorah's tier in terms of power, as in a one-on-one they wouldn't be able to take on Ghidorah, as the durability is kind of mid. You also have the fact that Heisei Mothra is stated to be stronger than her Showa counterpart, adding even more consistency to the scale. Then, you also have the fact that with Super Mechagodzilla, he's stated to be the strongest Mechagodzilla ever created, putting him above his mecha in the Showa era. And with the consistency of the statements, they're also proven by the feats of Heisei. Heisei Godzilla is able to tank his atomic breath reflected at him back by the Super Axe, right, which is stated to reflect any attack back 10,000 times stronger. And Mechagodzilla's plasma grenade, which is an improvement of the Super Axe, should be above the 10,000. But we'll use the baseline 10,000 times since we don't have, a direct multiplier for how much of an improvement it is. So, Godzilla hits Mechagodzilla 5 times, but with each shot being reflected by 10,000 times, 10,000 times 5 is 50,000 times stronger, which he tanks reflected back at him. Then, in the next encounter, Mechagodzilla gets an amp of 2 times stronger than before, making it 20,000 times stronger with a plasma grenade. Godzilla then fires 5 atomic breaths again, which would make that 100,000 times stronger that Godzilla tanks. You also have the fact that in the beginning of the fight, Heisei just blatantly stalemated Mechagodzilla's breath. Then, Godzilla fuses with Rodan and gets an amp. And get this. This was calculated by Godzilla King of the Monsters at around 71,000 to 461,000 times the power he originally had. I know, it's crazy. The multipliers for Heisei are absolutely insane. Like, I cannot tell you how wild they are, because it's just unfathomable. Like you wouldn't believe it for yourself if you saw them. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, they're just that insane. So, continuing on with the fact, right? We get into what's it called? Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. In Godzilla versus Space Godzilla, right? Everybody knows the famous one cell of Heisei survives a black hole. This has been calced around Heisei, not calced to Heisei, has been calced to solar system to even galaxy, and I've even seen multi-galaxy level calcs. Now this is what gets him above the entire Heisei era and proves all the other Heisei kaiju are above the Showa counterparts. Because if one cell can do this, imagine an entire body of Heisei just taking a black hole to the face. It is insane, man. But then you have the fact that Space Godzilla is just directly fighting a stronger Godzilla. And the reason why he's stronger, well, stated that Heisei, with each passing day and enduring fights, right, he grows stronger. Then you have the fact that after versus Mechagodzilla, he's stronger because he beat Mecha with the fusion amp that is now his new base form. Space Godzilla then easily is out here bullying Heisei, using his telekinesis, picking him up, super gravity, he's using all of that. He's just utterly beating up Heisei, right? And then finally, at the end, Heisei gets smart. He's like, you know what? If I destroy these 2 crystals, right? Or a crystal, that weakens his power. And then after that, he starts fighting with space. Even before he even destroyed the crystals, he was fighting pretty evenly with space. But after he beats Space Godzilla, it's stated that he absorbs Space Godzilla's power into himself, making that his new power. But I talked about this, but I haven't yet said how powerful Space is, right? So let's go ahead and get into how powerful Space Godzilla is. Well, for starters, Space Godzilla is stated to absorb / use infinite amount of energy, which on a 3-dimensional scale is a high universal. Now, if we were to add this on to the 4-dimensional scale from the Showa era, this would be around low multi, and you can even argue up to, it's just around like a low multi, maybe like a multiversal, if you want to get it there. But does Space Godzilla have anything else that makes him really powerful? Well, yeah, he does. Space Godzilla is stated to transcend the laws of physics, which would be a baseline 5-dimensional feat, right? I know, 5-dimensional is crazy for the Heisei era. But this is also supported by the fact that Space Godzilla has supergravity. Supergravity is a higher dimensional weapon, so this would also make him 5-dimensional. Now, you can argue this is 6-dimensional as the basis of space, right? Is 5D, because of transcending physics. Then you add on supergravity being high dimensional. So you can argue that's a 6-dimensional, although that's the only thing that's 6-dimensional in the verse and doesn't really get proven by anything else. So that would make the Heisei era already 5D to 60, and then infinitely 5D into 60, because Heisei absorbs that energy into himself. So you have the main basis, right, being 5D, but through calcs you have it solar system to multi-galaxy, right? Then we get into cross-verse scaling. Now for the cross-verse, right, let's go ahead and start with this. It's stated that Mothra Leo would be able to fight against It's stated that if Mothra Leo, right, from the I forgot what the verse is called. If Mothra Leo fought against Super Mecha, Mothra Leo would be able to deal 0 damage to Super Mecha. And the only way that Mothra would be able to win would be to shrink in size, fly into Mecha, and destroy Mecha from the inside out. That's the only way she would be able to destroy Mecha and beat him. So, Super Mecha is stronger than any Mothra Leo kaiju, right? Then you also have the fact it's also stated that she can't stand against the arsenal of weapons, even with all of her transformations. So even with her strongest transformation, right, which I think is Armored Leo, I don't know, I don't know too much about Mothra Leo, but with any of her transformations, she can't stand a chance against Mecha at all. Then you have another verse that scales to Heisei, which is the Orochi verse. Now, it stated that Orochi, the 8-headed dragon, right, and all the other monsters were all fighting for Heisei's throne as the strongest. So, at a baseline, Heisei would be stronger than almost all the monsters, right? Then you have the fact that Orochi be a bird who flies beyond dimensions, which would be outer, if you want to get it there. But, it's not exactly outer. Outer would be using it as the highest end, but this would be a baseline 5-dimensional feat. Why is this 5-dimensional? Well, the Orochi movie happens in approximation of the real world. So, this would include the 4D space-time that we have. So, with the bird flying beyond dimensions, this would at least make it a 5-dimensional feat. Then, Heisei brutally beats Orochi, and is above Orochi, making that 5-dimensional as well. So overall, this is already 5-dimensional, but with other Mothra Leo kaiju, right, you have Desghidorah. Desghidorah is stated to be able to destroy the universe, which is said to be infinitely in size, right? And if Desghidorah can destroy this is a low multiversal feat that Heisei upscales, because he's stronger, because all Heisei kaiju are basically above the Mothra Leo kaiju and the Orochi kaiju. So, low multi to even 5D for Heisei, it is astonishing that the downplay that he gets is this high. It's utterly insane. But then you also have the fact that Mothra Leo is also stated to absorb infinite amount of energy. So that's also a high universal. That just even upscales the Heisei verse even more. But that's just the base Heisei. Is Burning any stronger? Well, let's talk about him. Burning Godzilla is stated to have power not seen since the dawn of the universe. So, based off of this, he would already scale to the Big Bang, So that's already a universal statement for burning Godzilla. Then you have the fact that his power is more than every nuclear weapon on Earth, right? Ever. I don't remember this, but King of the Monsters said something in his video about it, like, these are, like, more advanced nuclear weapons than we have right now, or something like that. So, that's just insane. You also have the fact that burning is said to have infinite energy with this infinite heat ray, right? And like I said, on a 3-dimensional scale, that would be high universal. But if we get into 5D, that's infinitely into 5-dimensional, or infinitely into low complex. Then you have the fact that burning Godzilla's amp, which was said to be 198 times the power than his previous amp, he's just stronger than that. So he's 198 times stronger than his previous amp. So that would include the Rodan amp, right? So if you go there, right, you guys can do the math for yourself. But if you take 71,000 and multiply that by 198, and at the highest, 461,000 times 198, this would be over millions of times his previous amps. Yeah, you heard me right. Millions of times. And you're gonna tell me that this guy is weaker than Final Wars? No. Just get out. I don't ever want to hear that again. Oh, but Final Wars just it. No. Yeah, you got the statements. You don't got the feats. I'm gonna disprove that in a different video. Now, you also have the fact that Destroyer, right? Obviously, he has statements of being stronger than burning. But when burning starts to use this infinite heat ray, Destroyer is not able to adapt to it anymore. And even in statements and in the fight, said that Godzilla was just blowing off his chest, and Destroyer could do nothing about it. He couldn't regenerate it at all. There was nothing, and I mean nothing, that this man could do. So, and there's even a 6D thing, right, from one of my friends that I do want to mention. He said that, let me read this. Let me go find it. So, my friend, he said, okay, so Godzilla was born from a nuke. He was originally a Godzillasaurus that got hurt by normal weaponry. Then Godzilla becomes a Godzilla, and is said to be above the Showa era, which, as I said, is 4-dimensional and low multi with multipliers. Then you have Heisei amps with Rodan, which post amp is equal to Orochi, who's above Bird, who's above dimension, so at least 5-dimensional. And as I said, Orochi is an approximation of the real world, so 5 dimensions, blah, blah, blah. Burning was born from him, absorbing energy out of the island going Muslim, is what he said. So it stands to logically 6-dimensional, and then with the infinite heat rate, infinitely into 6D. So, if you really want to use it, this burning would be 6-dimensional. But if you don't want to go there, you have infinitely 5D, right? With all the other statements from cross-verse, inverse, all of that. Heisei Godzilla is just a powerhouse. Like, there's no way you guys are seriously underrating this guy this terribly. Like, I just can't believe it, man. Like, you guys really are just downplaying this man into oblivion. But then we get, but what about the speed? Well, for speed, right? If you're 4D or 5D, I forgot which one, that automatically gives you the standards for immeasurable speed, unless you have stuff disproving it. But I have stuff. So using cross-verse scaling for Mothra Leo, Space Godzilla is faster than anyone's been shown on screen, right? Which would get light to massively faster than light plus. King Ghidorah can say that King Ghidorah in 1991 can transcend time, right? The barriers of time, getting him immeasurable speed. And he also has the fact that Heisei is 4-dimensional to 5D, as I said, which is already immeasurable standards. But then you also have just baseline light stuff like Mothra Leo transcending light, FTL, a bunch of MFTL stuff for space, and all of that. So Heisei is not really anybody to downplay at all. Then you have a bunch of hacks for Heisei, like nuclear pulse, G cells adapt to any situation, atomic breath. He has energy absorption. He also has even hacks from Space Godzilla due to supergravity And those hacks are literally dimensional manipulation and gravity manipulation because of super gravity. So Heisei is no guy to just downplay just because you feel like it, and he doesn't seem impressive at all. No. He's in fact probably one of the strongest Godzillas to exist. So I don't ever want to hear anybody in the comments go, oh, but Final Wish solos. Tell me a single feat that gets him 4-dimensional. Please. Now, before I end off the video, I do want to say, if you guys want to see a part 2 to this, where maybe I go over his statements of being above Marvel Godzilla, or even just going deeper into the Showa scaling, I would be happy to. Just let me know. But that's going to do it for this video. I just want to say, go subscribe to King of the Monsters and my other friend. I'll leave their links down in the description. And you should go check out Godzilla King of the Monsters videos of scaling Heisei, because they're really good. But that'll do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.